35. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Today we're going to be working on the muscle truck, and I've got a few loose ends on this thing I want to tidy up before we go to the Holley sniper. Of course, you guys know we added the farm use tag just for fun, but we got Cars and Coffee coming up tomorrow, so I thought about prepping this thing and taking one last hoorah with the carburetor down to Knoxville West Town Mall at Cars and Coffee. We're going to go check that out, but before we do that, I think we're in need of plugs, and I also have a few goodies to kind of straighten up some of the wiring in this thing. Because right now, as you guys know, the wires in this thing are just, they're stock wires. They're MSD, it's a good set of wires, but the routing on them is kind of janky, so we're going to try to straighten that up. And it's a custom build set of wires. So I'm going to build a set of wires and actually put the separators on it and make this thing look good. And actually, you know, it'll be worthwhile doing all this stuff. Plus, we got to change the plugs and get everything freshened up for the sniper system. We're going to be pulling the carburetor off here really soon and taking care of that, but it's just kind of some preparations for that. And I'm going to go over the sniper kit, maybe unbox it and show you guys what all we're getting into. This truck, we may end up taking it to the dyno and having it dyno tuned. I do have all the software for my laptop, so I may end up just hooking in and seeing what the learn graphs look like and seeing if it's clean enough. If it is clean enough, then we may leave it alone, but I kind of want to dyno this truck just to see where it's at, especially before we tear it down and do a roller cam and change the heads if I want to go that route. You know, I'll kind of get into that a little bit later, but I'm going to give you guys a nice little startup here, and we're going to bring this thing in the shop. Sorry guys, I couldn't resist a good cutout cold start for you. I love these cutouts. Pops makes a great system. If you haven't done it already, go back and check out the video where we installed these bad boys on a true dual system too. They don't have an X pipe or an H pipe, may do that later, but just one of those things I wanted to share with you guys. They work really good. See, there's my bumpers. We're bypassing them, so it's all cut out. It's got a good tone to it, and it kind of whistles like it wants to be a turbo truck so bad. Listen to this. Oh, I never get tired of that. It literally will like make your day just to open the cutouts and rev that thing. It's so fun. So the old muscle truck has a set of MSD wires on it right now, and they're okay, don't get me wrong, like they're fine, but you see the routing on these is kind of janky. You know, it just, if this wire, you know, if this was a stock engine, it'd probably be okay, but it just, I don't know, it looks a little bit cobbled, so we're going to take care of that. Of course, you guys know we try to hide some of these wires over here, and they're just really difficult to hide because I've got a lot of them over here in the fender, and I think when we do the sniper, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna take care of everything that we don't need with sniper and take all this excess wires out. It's been left in here from where it was a 4.3, so it still has all the TBI hookups and everything, and still uses all the factory stuff. So that's one thing that we're gonna have to work on, is try to neaten it up. So yeah, that's one thing I want to look at. I want to go ahead and get rid of these where they're just laying across the valve cover. You know, you got this nice valve cover and it looks like crap with a wire over it. It's a good set of wires though. They're MSD, a little close to the header, but they do the job. But they look kind of janky. They just look kind of funny. I'm going to take these things off too. This just happened to come with the kit and I used them. Of course, I want to clean all that up. So I'm actually going to go get the separators. I'm going to show you guys those, and then we're going to start building our custom set of wires. But just want to kind of show you where we're at now before we start this teardown. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was this carburetor. It's a Holley Quick Fuel. It's a really good carb, but you know, it's definitely time to switch it out to Sniper, and that's going to be one of the huge upgrades for the winter. And I'm going to actually install the LCD screen, probably right here where my wallet's sitting in this little cubby hole. That's why I bought that thing. It just gave me somewhere nice to mount my Sniper system. So, anyways, I'm going to go grab some of these parts and show you guys what we're about to get into here. So I kind of wanted to show you guys what this is going to look like. Dad is actually running the very same setup that looks really neat. This is a set of wires that you build, and they just look awesome. This is so much neater than the muscle truck setup. And of course, he's got the cap off, working on a couple things. He's getting ready to put that 700R4 in. He's working on the TV cable and all that good stuff. So he's got his hands full with this. But in the meantime, while he's out of the shop, I'm going to finish up this thing. And that's actually what I was going to show you guys was what I bought here. So I've got a set of Street Fire spark plug wires. They're MSD. And we'll see how these work. But they should do just fine. They're 8mm. They should do just fine for what I'm going to work with. This also is a Spectra wire separator. They look pretty nice. Their display images are exactly kind of what Dad's got. I may go with this setup. That's for center bolt. So probably going to have to do this right here, the same way Dad has routed and done his. And of course, we got a classic set of R45s going in the muscle truck. So these should have the correct hex and stuff for the 041 heads. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the heads on this truck. These have been hand ported, and they also have 205 intake valves in them. So this is a pretty hopped up set of cast heads. You know, they're like a camel hump, but you know, they basically are a later model. So these are like 69 Camaro, 67 to 69 Camaro, and C10 heads. I think actually had the 041s, you know. Granted, I'm 27 years old, so I don't know everything there is to know about stuff from the 60s, but I do know that these were like the power pack heads, the better heads from that era. So, may not actually change these out. We're just kind of playing around with the idea. Now, I do have a lot of cruddy stuff down in here. This thing needs to be cleaned up, so that's what we're going to do today. First off, I want to build the wires and then start cleaning this bad boy up, getting it ready for the Sniper kit, but just want to go over the parts, and I'm going to also tell you guys what part numbers I'm using. This particular one, if it has a part number on it, which I thought it did, maybe it don't. Here we go, part number 5553, universal wire set, and these should work with the Hedman long tubes we got on there, and these are universal. So anyway, I'm going to start tearing this thing down. Just want to show you guys what we're going to be working with today. All right, boys, went ahead and got the air cleaner off, pulling the #1 plug right now. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's really bad, man. Look at that. Ooh. That thing is completely shot. I need to clean up some stuff. It's a little bit messy under here. But you guys, you know, I told you about the quick fuel carb. Here she is. 650 double puffer. It's got annular boosters in it. It's a really good carburetor, honestly. Like, they're fantastic. This thing's been great, but, you know, times have changed, and, you know, we're going to make the muscle truck smarter. So I'm going to set you guys down. We're going to go ahead and pull the rest of these plugs. They look really rough. I'm going to get these out, show you guys how rough this thing actually is. Hopefully, maybe you might pick up a little power, run a little better with some new plugs in it, because those look really bad. Now, if you guys are wondering, I am gapping my plugs at 35 thousandths. Alright guys, got the plugs changed out. Wasn't too bad. I will have to tell y'all, if you have Hedman long tubes and you're going to do this and put plugs in, this one over here is going to be your problem child. It's pretty rough to get to, and it's, you know, just kind of a pain. This side's actually not too bad. There is a couple on, you know, on the bottom there, that at the back side that's a little difficult to get to, but nothing too crazy. So wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. And also I've got the plugs sitting over here. The plugs look pretty rough. They're looking real rough, especially from the back side. Ooh, yeah, not good. Alright boys, so before we get too far along, did want to show you guys the new starter I got. It's a mini starter. I bought this while I was at Shades of the Past. The current starter that I've got has an issue where the Bendix is sticking, so it keeps trying to start the motor, and you know, this thing's usually pretty reliable and it always fires when you crank it, but we just don't want to have that risk while we're like, you know, 2 hours from home at Cars and Coffee. So that's kind of why I've decided to go ahead and get the truck in the air. I've got everything cleaned up in here. It looks a whole lot better. The fenders are clean. Everything down in here is nice and clean. Those wipes, by the way, these things are awesome. So if you've got a bunch of grime on an old motor, it'll take a bunch of them, but man, does it work. Even in the pulley systems and stuff, like it really got everything cleaned up nice. So that's decent, but I mean, I could do a little bit more with it. But I'm really concerned with the starter, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing in the air, and we're going to install a mini starter on this thing. Alright guys, so the old starter, we're going to go ahead and pull this off. Looks like he was saying 13 millimeter. And to get the starter out, to access it, we're going to have to remove the slave cylinder. So we're going to take that out real quick and then drop the starter down. Should be pretty simple. I don't think we had to do any modifications. And there's plenty of room between the header and the starter. So just future reference, if you guys want to go with Hedman, they fit pretty good. I've been able to change the plugs out pretty easily. Alright guys, getting ready to go in with this new starter. Got everything dismantled, and as far as the wires, we did run into a situation where the old mini starter had a slip-on eyelet, and now we have this clip-on style instead of a bolt-on. I'll show you guys here. The new starter has a prong where the others were threaded. So we're going to go ahead, slap that together, then we're going to check and make sure I have enough clearance on the gear and the flywheel. Then we'll be ready to reassemble. Should be okay. I don't think it's going to give us too much drama. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this thing back together, and we'll see how it goes. As far as the cutouts, though, I know you guys, I get a lot of questions about these cutouts. So far, it's holding up really good. I haven't had any trouble at all out of these things. They've been fantastic. Now, I will warn you guys, I have had some trouble out of the switch. This is my third switch that Pops has sent me. So if you guys are buying one of their kits, just go ahead and ask for extra switches. I don't know if maybe it's just me and I'm getting hold of them and just like a bad run in the production line. I don't know if it's that or what it is, but I've had a lot of issues with the switch. Now, they're really easy to change out. It's not that big a deal, but you know, it just kind of sucks when you're riding around town and all of a sudden your cutouts won't shut and there's a cop beside you, you know, so that's the only downside. So just be aware of that, and Pipes, if you're watching, please fix the issue. That'd be great. I'm not sure who your second source is for switches, but you guys better figure that one out, because this is my third one. Other than that, no complaints. They work fantastic, and the MagnaFlows do an excellent job of making things nice and quiet when you want them to be. And this is the latest little rig I made. What I do with this is it actually separates these mufflers enough to where they won't touch, and also is more stable. So this is a really nice system. You can unbolt the whole thing. So that's what's pretty neat about it. You can take all these bolts loose, take the bolts loose from the front, cross member comes out. Of course, your wiring harness here will have to be disconnected, and you can drop the whole system out. So it's pretty awesome, guys. I'm not going to lie. Next thing we're also going to look at for this truck is the Calvert Racing CalTrax system. This truck really needs something like that bad, because with no CalTrax, I have seen a little bit of wheel hop. You know, we've had some issues with that. So the Calvert Racing, it bolts up here, and it also connects up at the front with the hanger. So it should be a lot more stable with that under it, especially with this Eaton Posi and everything that's done to the back of this truck to help it hook up. And of course, you guys know it puts the power down through these 295/55 Mickey Thompson ET streets. These have been fantastic with the Raystar setup. So in case you guys missed that upload, be sure and go back and check this out. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. There's the cuts we made to give myself enough room for this tire. So, but that's it in a nutshell, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start buttoning it up. Alright guys, we got the new end on, so we did have to go in and change the nut to an actual connector and put that on a mini starter. That was just one of the differences in the brands, but not really anything major there. We did go ahead and we bumped it a second ago just to fire it up, and it seemed like it was okay. So now we're going to hit the switch for the first time with the new plugs in and see how it does. It should be fine, but I just want to go ahead and do a cold crank on it, make sure everything's good here. So, alright, let's see what she does here. A couple pumps. Well, that fired right up. I had no hesitation at all. As you guys saw earlier when I started this thing, it was like nice smooth idle. So that seemed to work pretty good. Got some stuff burning off the headers there from, I think it's oil or something burning off the headers. It's no big deal. But yeah, not bad guys. You know, you hit your cutouts, make sure they work. Cutouts are working. Shut those back. Oh yeah. Try to get out of here without skinning this door up.
That's the way it started earlier. We just went over. Did you hear that?
Oh, there was no hesitation in that at all. It is just boom, right over. And did you notice how easy it's, like with the new plugs in it, how much easier it started?
Sure.
We're trying to get out of here, guys. Hang on. Hang on. Low truck problems. But yeah, that thing whizzed over and started no drama this time. No hard cranking, no sitting there with the Bendix stuck. You guys watched earlier, I started this thing up and you guys probably couldn't tell, but the Bendix stuck. So it was like, it just kept going. And then while I was at a car show earlier today, I just rolled through there and I cut it off and went to start it back up. And it was like, woo! You know, the Bendix just it sits still. It never come out and actually spun the motor over. So I was really concerned about going to Cars and Coffee or anywhere else in this truck with that going on. And that little bit of smoke we saw, I believe that was actually just some cleaning stuff burning off the headers, because I cleaned everything earlier and I don't think I got it completely dry, but obviously it's dry now. So there you go. We got the plugs on and we got our new starter on, and we didn't even have to use the shim. Also, I forgot to tell you guys that. Didn't have to use the shim. I didn't get to film much of the starter, and I do apologize, but it was basically holding it, and he's putting the wire on, and I'm holding it, and he's holding it, and we're fighting it. So it's really hard for me to like film that without setting you guys down and just looking at our backs. So just wanted to let you guys know the old starter, I think I've got it laying around over here. And where's that old starter at? Here we go. So here's what we had to change out, in case you guys were wondering. There's the shim that fell out of it. So there's the back side. You guys can see the prong over there on that one side. That's what we had to change. Basically, I did have an eyelet on there and it was able to be bolted down, and it went to a actual like terminal blade. So with the terminal blade, I basically had to chop the end off and stick a connector on it instead. And I did have a shim that fell out, wherever that just went. Here we go. This is the shim that was in it, because this starter I think was originally on this car. So when he had it on here, he had to make some kind of special shim because the headers were really close to the mini starter. So he had to shave a bunch of stuff off so the wires and stuff would clear. So yeah, that's the starter that we used. As far as like part numbers and stuff, this is just a generic mini starter. It's not even like a brand name starter, so I'm not even sure where it came from. But a lot of this stuff we buy, if you guys are familiar with Rod Run, Shades of the Past, you get deals on stuff like this, and sometimes it's hit or miss, and this time it was a miss. So hopefully this time it's a hit and this thing will stay together and this junk won't do that again. So, but anyways, if we pick this back up, it's probably going to be about 5 in the morning, and we're going to be going to Cars and Coffee if this rain lifts. And if not, you guys are probably going to see me tearing this thing down in the next vlog and getting ready to put Holley sniper on. But this is just some of the few little things I wanted to do just to kind of get the truck ready for that and make sure that we had you know, fresh plugs in it and that the starter was right and all the little things are taken care of. So anyways, we're gonna pick this one back up later, and hopefully we'll have the sniper on really soon. All right guys, so we're out in the muscle truck doing just a little shakedown, letting it warm up. I don't know if we're gonna do any Mexico runs or not, but just kind of doing a shakedown, you know. It's got fresh plugs in it, seeing how it drives. I've got the cutout shut right now, so it's nice and, you know, you still get a nice tone with the cutout shut, and then when you want to open it up, it's there. And then the bald eagle button over here, I'm going to push this button, so it's pretty quiet in here right now. So here's what the bald eagle button does going down the road. There's 35. Okay, party mode, deactivate. That was pretty loud, guys. that was pretty loud. Just a baby bull, nothing too crazy. You know, the cutouts make it seem like it's just a rocket ship, and I mean it's a heavy truck. You know, it's like, I think these trucks are right at like 4,000 pounds, and with both of us in it and a full tank of gas, you know, we're over 4,000, I'm sure. But I mean, that's just it. It's a brick going through the air. It's not going to be insanely fast, but for a truck, it gets down. It's not bad. So you guys haven't really seen a full test hit in the muscle truck yet. So that, you know, especially with plugs in it, it definitely woke it up. And it's just an awesome day to ride around. The leaves are changing, you know, so it's awesome. But that's a little update for you guys on the muscle truck, and you know, that's something we're going to talk a little bit more about here coming up is the Holley sniper system. I just wanted to do this video and get this one out just to show you guys that, you know, we're literally ready now. You know, we got fresh oil in here, fresh plugs, the truck's running good, it has no real issues with it, and I haven't really gave you guys a pull video of the cutouts yet, showing you all how great they work and how, you know, convenient it is to be able to go full throttle and go full send mode and then take it back and go to a quiet street mode like we've got now. The bald eagle button comes in handy. It's really funny, it shows too, because you pull in and people are like, oh, yeah, that's a nice sounding little truck, and then you open the button, it's like, my God, what in the world's under the hood of that? I've had people ask if it's a big block, and obviously, you know, some of those people don't know a lot about engines, but it's just funny because they're like, my God, what's in that truck? What in the world's in that truck? No. So, if you guys like what you see, be sure to subscribe. We got some really cool stuff coming up. Probably going to have some four-wheeling vlogs coming out for you guys. It's that time of year again, so ZR2's coming back, camping's coming back, and you know, be sure and follow that build. And if you haven't done it already, as I said earlier, go back, check out some of the other videos of the muscle truck. It'll get you guys up to speed on everything that I've done to this thing up to this point. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy.